Alright, this is the same city of Ontario, and it's 10:56 p.m. That's relevant positioning, light activity, impossible light activity, moving across the tree. This is crossing a path in concert with the demons on the ground, P.O.C. This is what the Ontario International Airport is doing. And this is what the entity is doing, where the fake sun is rising in alignment to me. This is where the entity is concentrating surveillance. That is, again, Mike LORENZ's criminal engagement in gang stalking. You're looking at what is mental illness because that's demon possession by the Ontario Police Department. They're flying over, as I published the video of the City of Ontario gang stalking by flying over me at 415 North Euclid Avenue, right here, flying over my head. The City of Ontario is pacing and playing in helicopter. That's what they're doing. The Ontario Police still stalking as a police department in furtherance of committing murder. They're doing so on behalf of terrorists like Tracy Banks, who committed kidnapping with that police department. She is going to federal prison. She's gang stalking as an entity while these demons are keeping me under surveillance right now. Tracy Banks is monitoring with the Ontario Police. On this street, right here, is where the entity had the fake sun rising in alignment to me, in the same way that the Ontario Police are stalking in the path, flying over my head in the engineered environment. Turning onto Euclid Avenue, the demons are molesting me while I'm sitting over there with impossible light. These demons are monitoring together. That's P.O.C. It is currently 10:58 p.m. All right, this is demonic. Crossing a path, audible activity. Crossing a path, audible activity. This is the elements of monitoring. This is P.O.C. Alrighty, this is my shadow over here, and this is my shadow right here. This is the shared specific environment. It's going to be used to prosecute the gang stalkers who are the Ontario Police Department. They're wasting millions of dollars, which Paul Leon is aware of, in the same way that Alan D. Wapner is aware of the use of commercial planes to engage in criminally surveilling an American citizen who's putting it all over the internet. They're not only aware of the resources that are used to gang stalk me and furtherance of murder, they're aware of the fact that it's all over the internet. And Paul Leon, Mike Lorenz, Alan D. Wapner, the Ontario City Council, the gang stalkers themselves are fully engaging in it in furtherance. This is the practice of witchcraft that you need to know that these government officials are engaging in, and you already know that these are the people of the state. These are the peasants that are gang stalking in Ontario, and the entity that is the City of Ontario is monitoring. You hear that vehicle in the background? This vehicle is, and the demons are stalking by helicopter back here behind Gloria's Cochinas. All right, this is the entity that's engaging in satanic conduct. This is the demon possession of a police department, which is relevant to domestic terrorism in the United States. Domestic terrorism in the U.S. is rooted in what is the practice of witchcraft, Satanism, and this is a failed sacrifice that the government is engaging in. And this is going to be the disbanding of a terrorist organization that has been masquerading as a law enforcement agency. And the people of the state are going to federal prison for every kidnapping that they engaged in together with these gang stalkers. This is the same entity gang stalking, and I've documented them, this same criminal pattern of conduct where the Ontario Police then committed kidnapping, and they're going to federal prison. Okay, it is currently 10:59 p.m. This is P.O.C. at 434 North Euclid Avenue. That's amplified plane activity. The people of the state are stalking in the path. This is where the entity was stalking for 9 minutes in helicopter, and they're monitoring. This isn't traffic, this is surveillance. They're driving an engineer light, and they're monitoring with the police. Okay, that's P.O.C. So I just want to be clear, the federal government is going to prosecute not only for the criminal pattern of conduct, which is terrorism. The federal government is going to prosecute based on the impunity that that government that is trying to murder an American citizen exhibits. This is relevant to how many years Alex Escobar is going to get in federal prison. Okay, this is relevant to why everybody employed by the Ontario Police Department will never be in law enforcement ever again. This is why the Department of Justice is going to main domestic terrorists on a list analogous to Megan's list, where you are being made aware of sex offenders, terrorists in the United States, whose lives will be forever changed, and that's going to include gang stalking police officers. The Ontario Police are pacing right here behind this tree. They know that I'm capturing video. All they're doing is engaging in what is pacing. They're flying back and forth over me, concentrating helicopter activity right here on Euclid Avenue, and as I document on an ongoing basis, as I upload it to the internet, flying over my head again, as I document, and then they review it, and then they get hostile. They're triggered psychopaths and sex offenders, have been monitoring my vagina all day long, by the way, and they're doing so with the entity in the specific environment. This is impossible light activity. That's also inside of the venue, Ovid Family Community Library. That's light. That's impossible to occur from driving by. The Ontario Police are demons who are stalking. That's relevant positioning. This is surveillance by that Ontario Police Department. They're relying on criminal presence in the path activity creation while they're gang stalking together. And this is the outward demonstration of mental illness. They're pacing back and forth. This is the demonic pacing, okay? The entity that's going to be prosecuted, the gang stalking police officers are going to be subject to routine mental examinations relevant to what is both the diagnosis of mental illness and the criminal prosecution, the conviction for domestic terrorism as a corrupt police department conspiring to murder an American citizen whom they are criminally keeping under surveillance. And the entity engaged in what is kidnapping me while they are demons who have been gang stalking me. And Jason Isaac Fields and Tracy Banks are still targeting while the Ontario police is engaging in that ongoing criminal conspiracy that they engaged in together as an entity, and they are still engaging in it. They're going to federal prison. It's currently, again, 11:02 p.m. This is P.O.C. No headlights from over here. It's going to molest my person over there. And no traffic lamps create what are multiple shadows. The Ontario police are demons, all right? And they spend millions of dollars stalking me in helicopters and airplanes. This is P.O.C. They're stalking together with the people. This is why Ocean at Starbucks is going to federal prison, because she's gang stalking with the Ontario police when she engages in what is kidnapping with the very gang stalkers who are covered with what is a body of evidence of stalking. And then they want to act like they're legitimate law enforcement officers that are not already stalking me. All right, keeping me under surveillance. Ocean's going to federal prison. This is P.O.C.